Podcast, WATP.
Where I want to start is with he went on a cruise, and he's a big gay man, and he went on one of these big gay man cruises, and he wants to report back what he was able to accomplish on this cruise. Zen, you ever gone on a cruise before?
No, just gay cruises, really. It's
you have been on gay cruises before?
No, I've never been on a cruise, but I think they're made for fat gay men.
Well,
With,
yeah.
The entertainment, the buffets, floating around. It's a big deal.
The hot tub.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
When you go on a cruise, there's food everywhere all the time. And so, unfortunately, a lot of people gain a little bit of weight when they go on a cruise. And then you feel bad about yourself, and you go on a diet, and you try to fix all that. Not MobyJack. MobyJack is here to report that he did very well on this cruise.
Hey, Whale Watchers. So, as you can see, I am back home in the, old bedroom here. Sadly, no longer carousing around the Caribbean. But I did bring home a souvenir of a nice extra 13 pounds of blubber. As far as I can tell, most of which went right here. How did I do that, you say? Pretty much by nonstop eating and drinking.
That's what we're all wondering how he did
the
that.
average cruiser will gain a pound a day. So for an 8-day cruise, that would be 8 pounds. So I was, above average. I've always strived to be above average.
Okay. So if you're just listening to the show, I just want to tell you that we're looking at a man who weighs over 400 pounds, who's, I'll use the word topless, on his bed. And he cannot stop molesting his gut. He is so proud of this thing. He's showing it off. And he's very proud that he gained 13 pounds on this recent cruise. And he explains in more detail how he's able to accomplish this. And you would think that we get it. You ate a lot of food. But you forget, when you eat a lot, like a big meal, you kind of want to take a nap afterwards. And I know a thing or two about naps. Like if I eat a lot of calories, I don't have the energy to keep it going at that point. But he's figured it all out.
A couple days, picked up a Starbucks iced latte on the way to up my caffeine to give me a little bit more energy to keep eating.
That's interesting. So obviously he hates his heart because he's like, I want to eat as many calories as possible, but let me mix in some caffeine so I can keep it going, keep this party going as long as possible as well. Because obviously you can't start doing Coke. You're going to lose weight and your appetite if you do that.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to hit the Starbucks for it. I feel like I would need a bathroom break if I ate as much as this guy does. Oof. He just pushes right through it.
He's not caring about what he's doing, though. He's very meticulous. It's almost like a science that he's getting fatter. Like he kind of even takes an effect that he might get tired if he eats too much. So he ups his caffeine level in order to keep eating. I mean, I got to give it to this guy. He really knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So we are witnessing his weight gain journey. He's what's known as a gainer. His whole objective is to gain as much weight as possible. That's why he's all proud of himself. He's 13 pounds. He's above average. So let's talk.
He's a gainer.
He's a gainer. Right.
He's a gainer.
Unlike me, who's a gay nerd. Very different. Let's talk about what his lunches were. Because he goes through this whole thing about the breakfast. What he would do is he would have room service deliver a breakfast that included donuts and pancakes and, the usual things that you and I would eat for breakfast. And then after that, he would go and meet his friends for real breakfast in the dining area. So that's how breakfast started. So then this is what his lunches were.
For lunches, in the main dining room, it was often, 1 to 2 appetizers, 2 to 3 entrees, and a couple desserts.
Okay. So how many deal meal cards do you think he has to pull from the one booklet and put into the other side of the... I think
it's like blackjack. I think he's got 6 decks in that shoe.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is not fair. This is not a daily deal meal round, I don't think. So then he talks about dinner, and he has a pre-dinner snack while he's also drinking cocktails. He gets cocktails that have as many calories as possible. And then he gets his his dinner, and then this is the desserts that he has.
It was 3 to 4, sometimes 5 desserts. And that's where I learned to make sure that I eat the richest, desserts first. Eat the chocolatey ones first, and then save the fruitier ones for later to cleanse the palate.
I don't think he knows what cleanse the palate means. But I like that his strategy, though. He's just like, all right, I got to eat the calories first because there's a possibility I'll stop eating. And then I'll have fucked up and not ate all the chocolate mousse and fudge. Just had some fruit like an idiot. So he's got a strategy.
This must be going under a category because I'm seeing a pattern here. And, there's like that guy, Nick Cotto Avocado, guys like him. And if you don't know who Nick Cotto Avocado is, he's also a gay man who gained tons of weight in order to gain followers and attraction on YouTube. It's watching people die. We're watching people kill themselves slowly, and kind of into the Dabbleverse, we can kind of swerve into that guardrail and say that we're kind of doing that with Mr. Melendez as well. We're kind of watching this guy slowly kill himself. I think it's like the new primetime TV. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. And there's a note that I wrote down here because I think he's cheating. Okay. I'll put it this way. He's playing by different rules than the rest of us. So like the Chicago White Sox are right now, they have the ability to be the worst team ever in major leagues as far as their record goes. They might lose 120 games this season in baseball. What if they just announced like, no, we're trying to lose more games than anyone else. So it's like, yeah, we're going to be the worst team in history, and that's what we're trying to do. It's like, yeah, but the rules are you're trying to win games. Like, not our rules. We're trying to lose games. Like, fuck. They found a loophole. Like, that's what this guy's trying to figure out in life. He's just like, you guys think you need to lose weight and not drink and eat too much? You're idiots. I figured out a whole loophole to this thing where you actually should eat and drink as much as possible. I'm like, fuck. Why didn't I figure that out?
This is insane.
So you think he just knows he's a loser, so he's leaning into the loser aspect in his life? Like, I'm going to be fat anyway, so.
Zen, that's a good teaser because I actually have the journey coming up. He did a video about his journey, and you'll find there's a lot there. There's a lot to learn about this guy. But producer Chris has some thoughts about this because he's going, maybe I'm the idiot.
Well, yeah, but when you listen to him, and hopefully you just are listening to it because it's a lot to take in. He sounds articulate. He doesn't sound insane. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's not factual about this.
Correct.
And serene.
Yes, and he calls the viewers the whale watchers. He thinks that what he's doing is somehow entertaining and noble. And, to Zen's point, yeah, we're watching John slowly but surely kill himself, but all of us are rooting for him to stop drinking. Like, no one's sitting there, as Vince the lawyer, the exception. No one's trying to get John to drink more. We're all going, hey, take a break, buddy. We want you to last a little longer, Whereas I think this community, if there's fans of this, not a lot, but if there's people watching this and they're rooting for him to just keep eating this crap food and drinking, then they're not really concerned about him. But the easy part, guys, is going on a cruise, eating all day, every day, and gaining 13 pounds. What's the hard part? Because that's the battle he faces now that he's back.
And paying for it?
So now it's going to be all about, can I keep it on? But yeah, so between, all the food, which we'll see in a little bit, I tried to take pictures of everything. But between all of that and all the booze, went through and counted up, they swipe your card every time you get a drink, and even though you have the drinks package, it comes up as $0. So I tallied it up, and on C days, I was averaging 15 drinks a day. And on port days, I was averaging 9.
Okay. So again, he's cheating. Right? He's like, the only hard part now is to keep the weight on. This would be like if I got pulled over for a DUI and I'm like, no, officer, you don't understand. I'm trying to blow the highest BAC ever.
Yeah. I'm on my way to another bar.
Yeah, right. You don't understand. Like, actually, yeah, follow me. I'm going to do a couple shots and then I'll get back in my car and you can pull me over there because I want the record for this. Like, so that's not how any of this works. Sorry. So how fat do you think he is here, guys? If you had to put a number on it, what number would you put on it?
450?
I would say over 400. Yeah.
Okay.
420.
Okay, see,
Or
I
30.
had a feeling Zen would know something about this. Now, if you don't know, Anthony recently had surgery, right? You've been losing the lbs.
Yeah, no, I had a gastric bypass surgery. So it's you eat a lot less calories because you can't physically eat a lot, and you just end up losing a bunch of weight.
So Anthony's actually playing by these things called the rules. And
Well, I'm
what
feeding
the
too.
rules do is
It's-
allow you to survive longer and live a
Sure.
life. So let's find out what he's up to here. He's very proud of himself.
Hopefully, as I said, I gained 13 pounds, bringing me up to 418. I am hopeful that I will keep that on. It's going to be difficult, not being in an area where, or in a situation where basically I can just lay around and eat and drink all day, which is, what I was doing there.
I just remember this is the episode of The Simpsons. Where he has to wear the moo-moo. He's just like, oh, wow,
Right.
you're too fat. You don't have to go to work anymore. Sweet. Like, that's how dumb this guy is. Literally the dumbest cartoon character of all time. He's emulating that. So very good call on 420. 418.
Oh yeah, 480. Well, I know my fats, man. For
Anthony,
sure.
pick
That's why
out
you had me
any
on.
prize from the first two rows over here. You got it.
Okay, I'll take the ham sandwich and the jar mayonnaise. Thank you.
That's the vendor across the way. You can't have that.
Okay.
All right, so we're watching him on YouTube. He's got the YouTube channel. But are there other ways that we can watch this guy and support him? Oh, there are.
And there's some sunrise and sunset videos of me and my belly over on my OnlyFans that you should check out.
There it is. There
So-
it is.
He has an OnlyFans account.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what a sunrise or sunset video is with his belly, as he describes it. I'm not interested in finding out. I will never know that. I'm good.
Well, I assume it's like watching the sunrise and set, like over his belly. Like he kind of just sits there by the
I'm
horizon.
assuming like his penis, you can't see the sun, and he just describes it to you. But over there, it's beautiful, a lot of colors and stuff. You're like, okay, take your word for it. So the whole point of this one is that he took photos of all of his meals while he was on the cruise, and then he shows them off at the end. And he says something. I didn't find this all that interesting, but I just have this one clip because he says something that is this is the craziest thing to me. I know all this is crazy, but this is literally the craziest part to me.
If it was, it was a calorie is a calorie is a calorie. So as long as it didn't taste absolutely revolting, I continued eating it.
So it's not even about like enjoying the food that you're eating. It's just a slow suicide then, like we've been saying.
Then why take pictures of it?
Well, I've never seen a smoker who's like, I don't even like cigarettes. I just hate my lungs. just trying to destroy them. Rip that filter off. I don't need that shit. Like, what's the point? That he's just like, calories are great no matter what.
I mean, like for him, like he was talking about before, he gets himself prepared to eat as much as he can. Like there's a science to this with him. It's not because of pleasure. He's not doing it because he loves to eat food. He's doing it because he's got like an ulterior motive. He's got a mission.
Which is why he might be crazy. Okay. Because if he was just like, guys, I just really like food and I like drinking and you can't stop me, like, yeah, me too. I get it.
Yeah,
I get
with
that. But if you told me like, Carol, do you want to eat all the food you don't like all day long? No, I don't.
Well, I have a theory, but I'll wait till the end of the program to give my big reveal. But I'm very now that I've been watching these videos the past couple of days, I've been very fixated on where this guy's going. I want to see how fat he gets now. I really do. I want him to win.
Well, let's see, because I pulled this. This is from before he was 400 pounds. So he was a little under 400 here.
Hey, whale watchers. Welcome to Shake and Share number 4.
I'm a whale watcher.
Sitting about 391 pounds this morning. Quite full right now. Going to be adding to it this time it's a cherry cheesecake shake. So
is this a fetish or something? Is this? I guess it has to be, right? There has to be someone who's into this.
Sure.
Well, you see how he rubs his belly?
Yeah.
Like the way he plays with himself, it's almost like some sort of morbid masturbation. He's doing it for somebody out there who's definitely jerking off to this. Somebody is watching him and getting aroused by it. That's why he does OnlyFans. And when he said he was gay, I'm like, oh, there must be some kind of subculture for gay men. It's kind of like men who like bears. Some guys like big fat hairy dudes.
Yeah.
This guy is a whale. This guy is the next level.
Yeah. I got bored with bears. I've had enough bears in my life. I'm ready for the next thing.
Yeah. I want all the hugs from my dad who never hugged me. Like that's where it's going.
Yeah, I think you're right. JJ says cherry cheesecake shake sounds pretty good though. Yeah,
it does.
That doesn't sound like one where it's a calorie.
Right.
He's choosing that one specifically.
How many calories do you think are in the average load you swallow?
Well, I've looked it up, and I meant you. I was on a diet once, so I had to look it up. All right, so here's another video I found, and this is for the whale watchers out there. This is a rare profile shot because we can all see the belly, and it's enormous. Mm-hmm. But you don't even realize how big it is until you see this.
Wow.
So this is him just showing off.
He doesn't like his heart, but he hates his spine.
Look at this. Look at that. Oh. Look at that. If he was laying down, he'd be taller than me.
See, that's his arm workout.
He's losing calories.
Yeah, stop playing with your belly.
You might get struck with this on your fucking YouTube channel. This is some dirty shit.
You're right. All right. Let's go. Okay, so now I want to talk about the weight gain journey he's been on. So he's going to go back. He's going to show you some old photos of him. And he explains that, he wasn't very athletic in school growing up, and he wasn't fat, but he wasn't skinny or ripped or buff or tone or anything like that, which I guess is things that gay guys care about. I couldn't tell you what my body type was when I was in high school because I don't care. But anyway, so this is going back to... he's looking at 2004, actually, in this one.
Fast forward to about 2004, which is where we'll sort of start the journey here.
Wow.
I was probably
so
on...
Louis C.K.?
I was just going to say, that was Louis C.K.
I have that in my notes as well. Yes, that's funny. So,
wow.
In 2004, he was 230 pounds.
Wow.
But he doesn't even look 230 in that photo. I mean, it looks pretty
hefty. I was about
average.
230 pounds.
Well, how tall is he? Because he could be like 6'2".
He's 6 foot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm 6 foot and 230.
Okay.
Right.
So
and he looks way better than you.
But what he shows below here that's crazy is going back. Yeah. So that was in 2004. In 2006, he got down to 178.
Oh, okay.
So he actually decided to lose weight, and he was able to do that. But he's going to critique himself even when he's looking at himself when he did lose the weight.
But as you can see in these pictures, I'm still not in any way toned. I've got, muffin top. I've got love handles still, all those things.
I mean, I think you're being a little bit too critical of your 180-pound self right there. You look good enough to jerk off in front of girls in a hotel room, as far as I'm concerned. I'd give it to you, buddy. All right. So then he explains, I thought for sure, because he's mentally ill, obviously, I thought for sure he'd say something like, but this was not me. I had to grow into who I am. What do you think, Zen?
He said he's mentally ill. I don't think him being gay has anything to do with it. But
okay, no, you're right. You're right. Good point. I've come around on that.
No, yeah, for sure. He's like body dysmorphia is a thing, and people usually are anorexic because of it or bulimic. Yes. So maybe he's got the opposite of that, where he thinks he looks like a piece of shit at 170.
That's what I thought. But listen to this clip though.
So I was happy, happy to be that light, and it wasn't onerous, right? Like I think I had done it. It was mostly through, doing some slim fast stuff, you know, in terms of for breakfast and lunch, and then a sensible dinner.
So he literally says, I was able to lose the weight pretty easily to get down to 178, and I was happy being that weight. Okay. Well, what the fuck happened then? Because that's not what I was expecting at all when I was watching this.
Yeah, me either. What a twist.
Okay. So then he says between 2006 and 2011, he fluctuated a little bit, up and down a little bit, nothing crazy. And then he started with a personal trainer to build strength in 2011. And so now he's going to get into what started happening as he's building strength and not doing cardio.
Obviously, being a member of the gay community, I was stressing about weight, right? You know, I mean, it is what it is.
Okay. So now we're looking at all of these photos of him in 11, 2013, 2014, 2016, 2017. He went from 190 in 2011, and he's making a muscle. He's buff. Hey, look at me. I'm working with a trainer, all that stuff. He goes up to 288 2 years later. So almost 100 pounds in 2 years. Then he's 330 the next year, 345 a couple years after that, and 382 in September of 2017. So those are some big changes right there. And
yeah,
it's surprising because he talks about things that he used to enjoy.
You know, again, with the trainer, I wasn't focusing too much on cardio. I was biking a lot. I absolutely loved, you know, really kind of wish that I could bike at this size, but, you know, it's not really an option.
He enjoys biking, but he decided to get super fat, and now he can't do that anymore.
Did a personal trainer break his heart?
That's weird, right?
Yeah.
Who's this personal trainer who's just like, well, you need way more of a gut if you're going to pass
No,
this?
I mean, like, broke his heart.
No, I know.
And then he's like, well, fuck health.
well,
That's a good question. Because he talks about how... Oh, go ahead, Zen.
no, go ahead. Finish your point, and then I'll chime in.
He talks about how he was on a kickball team. Which is the gayest thing in all of these videos so far. But he was on a kickball team, and this is interesting tidbit.
You know, I was playing kickball, and we were on the bear team, and I was the fattest at 190. And I'm like, excuse me?
So he was on the bear team at 190. He was the fattest guy on the kickball team. So I guess he was being shamed for being 190. He's just like, oh, you think this is shameful? Oh. Wait until you see what I can do. So here it is. Here is the saddest clip that I have. I think this kind of sums it all up. Like, why did he go from a guy who was able to lose weight, get down to 180, started working out, liked riding his bike around? Why did that change into what he is now, over 400 pounds, and bragging about it?
That, like, I really started, you know, getting some attention for the belly, you know, and getting enough attention that I got through sort of what I call the awkward fat stage. I think all of us sort of have that where, you know, the fat is not exactly the way we want it, right? So, like, in those earlier, you know, stages, the upper portion of my belly was not as big as the lower portion. So, you know, I was not as happy with it as I was.
So he was getting negative attention when he was a little overweight. But then when he got obese, then he got the attention that he wanted from people.
Right.
Well,
and that awkward phase he went through, I'm assuming that's his, you know, his own self trying to tell him to stop killing himself, you know, at some point, because you get your, I guess it's shame. I guess that's the awkward phase. And then at some point he just ate through the shame and just said, fuck it. And that's where he is now.
Go from like, man, you've let yourself go to, oh, this is your thing now. Right?
Right.
So then you're just like, oh, that he wants to be an obese loser. Okay, well then you're killing it.
Right. The stages of grief. He's just accepting it.
Right.
Like that's just what he's doing.
Yes. I think that's what he's explaining here is these different stages. You're right. It's just acceptance at one point. It's just like, you know what? I don't really want to watch what I eat, and I'm not a big fan of exercise, so I'll just become a morbidly obese man. And I just have one more clip on here because I found this to be interesting. He had this one video I was watching when he was on the cruise, and he was going around his room and he was showing all the different stuff. And of course, there's a CPAP machine next to the bed, of course.
Right.
And so, I always wonder how a guy like this even sleeps.
And now I'm regularly going to bed in the 4:20 range. Still waking up, not necessarily, sort of in the somewhere in 4:12 to 4:16-ish range. Waiting for all of these calories that I've been eating to really, set up shop.
Set up shop.
So think about this. This guy hates sleep because he literally loses weight because he's not eating. So his body's metabolizing some of these ridiculous amounts of calories he's eating. He's like, God damn it, I was 4:20 when I went to bed last night. Now I'm 4:12. I got a long day ahead of me. I got a lot of catching up to do. This is nuts. All right, are you ready for your big reveal here?
How fat have you guys been? What's your fattest weight?
I've probably been 210, maybe pushing 215.
At what? How tall are you?
5'11".
5'11". So you're a little bit taller than me. You were at 210. That was your highest.
Yeah.
Wow. What about
I have very skinny calves.
Is this your biggest weight so far?
Who? What?
The producer.
Yeah. 240. No, I was working in an Italian restaurant and eating pork fat all the fucking time. Just everything was pork belly, pork fat, pork.
Those were the days, right?
Oh yeah, I miss it. Because unlike this guy, I savored the food. I loved it. I loved the taste of everything. I wanted more.
Yeah, we weren't eating calories just for the sake of calories.
No.
We were making it worth it.
That's interesting. No, my heaviest, I was 320 was my heaviest. And it was very unhealthy. I mean, like, people were scared that I was going to die.
Or sit on them.
You know what I mean? Like, you see somebody that big and you're like, that guy's going to be dead by next month. Mm-hmm. And maybe in 6 months he's going to die. There's got to be something in his head that goes, I got to self-preserve myself. Something's got to happen. But maybe not with this. I don't know.
Okay. So that's actually a perfect setup to what I'm going to show you next. He has a website where you can track his weight gain. And so if you go on this guy's website, you can see how he's accomplished this. And you can see by this chart, he was going up and up and up and up and up and up. And then he's lost a little bit of weight. And then it's back up and up and up and up. The problem with this and the problem with his YouTube channel is that he hasn't posted anything in over a year. And so I was trying to figure out if he's dead. And I couldn't find anything. He might not be with us anymore.
Oh, my God.
I know. That's sad. Like, he's got a whole website like promoting this. And then what's the date on there? It's like 2022. That was like the last time. Because he even said he lost weight during the pandemic. That's what I guess this era is here.
Wow.
And then he learned how to start eating.
He's the only person that lost weight during the pandemic.
Right. He's doing everything opposite. Everything's opposite day with this guy. It's incredible. So yeah, Zen, I'm worried about him. I don't know that this was the right way to do things in his life. I feel like it's not.
He's in a little denial with his beard color too. Now all of a sudden he's a redhead again. That's a little vain for somebody who doesn't.
You think he's going to the salon?
Yeah.
Who are these podcasts?